What's good, you guys? Daniel Cruz with Cook with Cruz here. We back again on another Sunday for another episode here. I'm actually surprised that I didn't make this episode earlier into my series. I know we've been doing this for a while now, but today we're actually gonna jump in and see how the beat to Mozzy's Ima Gangsta was made, and even the story about how it came about and got placed and everything. So yeah, I'm surprised I haven't done this video yet. I know I have done a tutorial on how to play the piano to the song. If I remember correctly, that's actually my very first video that I uploaded on this channel. You can definitely go check that out if you want. Just type it in the search bar. But today I'm gonna go in depth on pretty much how the beat was made and everything. So it's also gonna be a little interesting. I made this beat a long time ago. I know all the beats and songs that you have seen me made on this series so far was all new stuff. I actually made this beat back towards the end of 2014, so this beat's coming on 5 years old now. So it'll be interesting to look back on, certain techniques and styles and just my sound and how it changed over the years. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let's get into it. So starting off, just a little story and background on how the beat and song came about. Again, this was back in 2014. I remember I advertised, I think on Facebook or somewhere, that I was willing to do custom beats at the time. And I had somebody hit me up and inquire about it. So I was like, alright, cool, let's do it. And he sent me a link of a song of how he wanted the beat to sound like. I don't remember the exact song that he sent over. I don't even really remember much of what it sounded like. I just remember it was an up-tempo piano driven track. So I'm like, alright, cool, no problem. I've been playing the keys for a while, so I can do that for sure. So I made the beat probably within like a couple hours, 2-3 hours, something. So I finished it and I sent over like a snippet or whatever so he can hear it. He's like, this is dope, really like it. So I was like, alright, cool, just send the payment over and we're good. I'll send you the full beat and we're all good. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna get this money ready right now and send it over to you. But the thing was, he never sent me no money. It never happened. So I really just got stuck with this beat that I made for this dude, but he didn't follow through on his business. So at the time, I really liked the beat. I just didn't really know what to do with it. So it sat on my computer for 2 whole years. So fast forward 2 years, towards like the end of 2016, Mozzy's manager had called me and asked if I could send a pack of beats through. He said he was in like the studio with Mozzy and a few other artists. And a small backstory behind that, me and Mozzy's manager, Davo, we've been tapped in for plenty of years. We've known each other since elementary. So it was around this time when he really started to get heavy into managing Mozzy. So he called me up, he wanted me to send a pack through. I'm like, alright, cool. The Ima Gangsta beat here was in that pack, and that's pretty much how Mozzy got a hold of it. And literally the rest is history. I think we're at like 25-ish million views on the video now, which is pretty crazy. I think that might be my biggest song out right now. I actually linked up with Mozzy a few weeks ago when I was in LA. He was telling me about the whole story about Ima Gangsta. He said he loved the beat and he wanted to put it out like right away. I remember when I sent Davo that pack, I swear like the same night or the next day he sent me a reference for Ima Gangsta. And literally like 2 weeks later, it was like just after New Year's 2017, the song dropped. And after the first week, it already had 1 million views on the video, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, looking back, if that dude that had asked for this custom beat, if he came through with some money and he paid for it, I can 100% guarantee you I would have never sent the beat. I'm always 100% honest when it comes down to business, and you may know, especially if you've done business with me before. So yeah, if I sold it to that dude, then I sold it, and I would have never, sent that off, and that song would have never existed, which is crazy. And I don't even remember who the dude was. Like, I didn't even know him. I don't even know if I knew somebody that knew him. So shout out to that dude that just told me to make a beat that day and didn't follow through on paying. But anyways, let's actually jump into the beat so I can show you all what went down on the beat here. So if you heard the song before, you already know the piano, the melody here is what really drives the record. So for the piano, the VST and patch that I used one of the Nexus pianos. I don't remember what the exact preset was. Matter of fact, if you actually look into here, I don't even have Nexus anymore. So I got Nexus the same way 99% of you all did, but throughout my PC upgrades and everything, I ended up losing all that cracked version and stuff. And this was right around the time that I bought Omnisphere 2, so I was really just making that transition from Nexus into Omnisphere, so I just started using Nexus a lot less. So no, I don't have Nexus anymore, but I do have Keyscape now, so that'll serve as a good replacement for the Nexus piano in the song. So let's dive in and see how I play the piano here. Mind you, again, I do have a tutorial on YouTube on how to play this on the keys, so go check that out if you really want to learn how to play this. So here I go, right here. So that's what I wrote when I was making this beat, and as you can see, this is what's going to pretty much drive this record here. So that piano melody is going to play for our intro here, and then when our verse drops, we're going to play that same exact melody, just an octave higher on the keys. So when the verse drops, I add a bass stab in here, and look what we got here: Bad Booty Bass and Omnisphere. You watching my videos, you know I still use this patch to this day. So me and Bad Booty Bass been going at it for a good 5 years now. So here goes our bass stab here. Crazy enough, that's all our instruments right there. No vocal samples, no textures, no added stuff. As you can see, my sound hasn't fully developed up to that yet. Not saying that my sound was bad back then, but you can see how much I evolved over time if you look at my most recent videos. So let's look at the drums now when the verse starts. So for the first 4 bars of the verse, I'm going to have like a percussive tom drive our rhythm here. And then our next 4 bars, that tom is going to cut out, and this is where drums drop. And that's all there is to that. That's pretty simple. See how the verse comes in now? And that's pretty much going to be our verse there. The only thing else that I add is a cymbal crash that happens after the 8th bar here. But other than that, no crazy switch ups, nothing too crazy, just the same thing for the whole 16. So. So we really don't see nothing different until the hook drops. And for the hook, the first thing that I add is a bell melody that layers up with our high piano keys on the melody. This is Retro Mallet Reunion in Omnisphere. I still use this patch to this day sometimes. Pretty dope patch. Here's what it sounds like. So that's all we're going to add melodically there. And as far as our drums, I cut all the drums out during the first 4 bars of the hook. So it kind of gives you a little break from the verse, almost like a pre-hook, but it's still the hook. The only other thing that I add to the drums is another chant, and it's literally just playing a chant on every 3rd beat here. If you're from the West Coast, especially Bay Area, Northern California, and you ain't never added a chant like that in your beat, probably doing something wrong. So here's what the first 4 bars of our hook is going to sound like. And now for the last 4 bars of the hook, this is where our drums really come in full here. We're gonna add an 808. And some additional hi-hats here. So now let's take a listen on the full hook here. And then one last thing that I do at the start of the second verse here, I bring back our toms that we had in the beginning, and in addition to that, I add a bass patch that plays during this beginning of the second verse. Coming in here, we got Silent. I still have Silent, but I pretty much never use it no more. I bought the VST. I just don't really use it as much. But back then, I was heavy on Silent as I was making that transition into Omnisphere. And this is actually a Superstar O preset from one of his Silent banks, Tiger Bass here. So I just add a real simple bass melody with this patch here. And the reason behind me doing that was the hook is pretty busy. And that transition back into the slow verse, it's too drastic, so I kind of wanted like a post going on, but still have it be the verse. So this bass here is going to fill everything in for me. That's going to play for 8 bars, and then our verse is going to continue like normal. And that's pretty much the beat. Let's check it out. There it go right there. That is pretty much how Ima Gangsta came about. After I had sent it over to Davo, Mozzy's manager, he did some additional production on it. He had like a vocal sample in the beginning, tweaked a couple things here and there, but that's pretty much what the final record sounds like for it. I know this episode was long overdue, especially being that that song is probably the most popular song that I did right now. I'll leave a link in the description if by some reason you haven't heard that song or seen the video yet. I think it's around 25 million views right now. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a thumbs up for me on the video. I'd really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed with the bell turned on, please do so, because I'm going to be back next Sunday with another episode for you guys, breaking down more beats and songs that I produced, showing you all the secrets and techniques that I do. Hope you guys were inspired or this helped you in some way. Again, you heard my story about how this song came about. Even if you got that beat in your vault that's just sitting there for 2 years, doesn't mean that it's garbage and it's never gonna be anything. So never underestimate, and don't sleep on your old beats on your folder. They could become something. So I appreciate you if you made it to the end of this video, but that's all for me today. I will see you next Sunday. I'm out. Peace.